So let's go ahead and get started with Tech Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to do Microsoft Excel and go over all the cool things in there. So again, get better together. We'll have a quick overview. I have a couple different steps that we're going to do as we walk through. It's kind of a quick hitter. We're going to build something a little bit, and then I want to open up the floor to everyone after that, to any Excel questions or any technology questions that you have in general. Honestly, we really use and rely on Excel way too much, but if we do, let's know how to use it. So it organizes us, it helps us collaborate. There's actually a lot of built things in here that can save us time. Today, I'm going to do a couple navigation tips. I'm going to really talk a lot about tables and pivot tables, and then a little bit of data validation and collaboration and views. So I'm just going to jump right in and go ahead and pull this right up. Let's go in here. So I used ChatGPT to create this crappy little data set here that is construction issues. It can be any issues, a list of issues that you might have. So some things right off the bat that I'd recommend everyone do is if you click up here in the top left, you can double click and it will change the size of these. If you click and drag, it will change all of them at the same time. So double click here, double click in between. That will make it a lot nicer. You can also double click here and it will just do some formatting. So some really quick things there to help with formatting and walk through it like that. Another cool thing that you can do is you can just highlight the whole table. There's this format as table here. You can use that, or on your keyboard, just press Control T. It's going to ask you if your table has headers. You can go ahead and say yes. And then you go here and it formats it. Now, one thing I did see on this, it has some formatting. I'm going to clear all formats. And now we're going to go format as table. And now it looks a little nicer. Again, click there, double click that. I have my data set, right? Looks really good. So what do we want to start doing with this data set? It's just a list of issues, a list of things, but really, like if I added something to this safety violation, it will automatically enter that. But I could type in safety V and it just lets me put that in. So I want to prevent a little bit from actually using other formats, right? Oh, and this date format is off. Let me just fix that real quick. So this is a date, short date. Works great. Oh, maybe at the end here, I'll show you some date tips and tricks. Okay, so let's go in here and I'm going to make a new tab and I'm going to look at some of the things that I have here. So I have issue type, I have responsible party, I have priority, I have status. So I'm actually going to copy this whole thing. Copy right here, paste here. I got all my issue types. But there's duplicates in here. So how do I remove these duplicates? So I'm going to go into data, remove duplicates. And there's 23 values down to 5. So now I only have 5 different values in there. Double click there, get a quick list. So let's go ahead and go back to our table. We're going to grab priority. I'm going to paste that, Control V. See, and let's just do status while I'm here. Screw that. Let's just do one at a time. So here, there, tap it twice. And now I'll remove duplicates of that. There's my statuses. And then remove duplicates of that. I'm going to delete these table lines. Delete. Okay, so that's fine. There are my 3 different statuses. So I'm going to do something real quick, and I'm going to highlight these. and make each one of them into a table. So I'm going to press Control T. Now that creates a new table here, and I can just go and say issue type and put the table name right there at the top left, and it has issue type for me. I can go in here. I'm going to skip that. Control T again. And this is priority. And this is status. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do is you can create what are called named values. So if I come here, hit formulas, name manager, I can define a name. So I can say issue type, and we're actually going to click here and just say all these issue types are going to be issue dash type. Okay, so I can reference, oh, it doesn't like the dash. I should have known that. Issue type. Okay. Issues. Types. So now I can start referencing issue types. I'm going to do the same thing for these priorities. Find name. Let's go priorities. Find name. Statuses. So now let's go back to our table. And instead of using these as our items, we're going to come in here, highlight this. I'm going to go to data, data validation, select list, and I can just say equals priorities. Now I can just drag and drop in between all of these instead of using that list. Same thing, real quick here, data validation, list, and then we're going to say equals statuses. Again, there's my statuses. Data validation, list, equals issue type. Types. Yep. So again, got those different types. Now the cool thing is if I do it this way, I can come in here and type another issue type and just say bad contractor. And I go back to my table. Bad contractor is now in my list. So that makes it really nice. So that's great. I want to add a responsible party. I want to come in here and insert company. So I have responsible party, but let's add the company in here. So what I've done here is I've actually created what group are they part of. Let's go ahead real quick. We're going to do a little data manipulation. I'm going to come in here and put this right next to it. Put this right next to it. And right here. And if I just click right here, double click that, it makes it all part of these parts really quickly. So now let me just move this down one, and we're going to call this responsible party and company. And delete the extra there. And then I'll format this as table. And there I have it. And let me just quickly clear my formats. And we'll go back to table. And let's use this table this time. So we got their different companies that they work for. We could even do that same list of companies, only have a drop down for companies, but work through that. But now if I go back to this table, I can do people have used VLOOKUPs, right? But there's a new, more powerful tool called XLOOKUP. But if I say in here equals XLOOKUP, I don't really know how to use this thing. Yeah, it has some information here. So one thing I can do instead of this, I can click this little button right here whenever I'm writing a formula and go ahead and do this right here. So I want to look up here and it's telling me, what do I want to look up? What value? I'm going to click there. I know that, and I'm getting, yeah, looking up Captain Bolt. I'm going to reference where am I going to look for this? So I'm going to go for here and I'm going to look at responsible party. I'm trying to match it, right? Now I'm going to return and say, where am I finding what's the answer? So I'm going to go here. It's going to go to this company. So it's going to look at company, come back, if not found, and then match mode. Honestly, you can just put one in there and it's going to look for an exact match. If not found, we're going to write not found and click OK. Oh, I screwed that up. So equals XLOOKUP here, comma, responsible party, comma, company, comma, not found, comma, exact match. Comma. So it didn't find some of these. It's because they're not found, but that's okay. Found some of them, Justice League, some Avengers, some back, but really quickly I can populate that. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to start summarizing this data. So lots of good ways to summarize it, but a list like this doesn't really help me. I got to start holding Captain Bolt, or this is just Hulk, available or accountable, right? So I'm going to come in here, highlight this, go up to my table design, select summarize with pivot table. So pivot tables are really powerful. They just create summaries of all this data. So we're going to hit that. And now let's look at this pivot table here. I'm going to grab a row by responsible party. And maybe I'm going to pull in responsible company. And I'm going to count issues here. I have sum of issues. So that's the sum. I want to actually come down here to the right, go to my field values, and I don't care about the sum. I care about count. So I can look, the Avengers have 4 issues, Justice League has 11, and then here's that. We can put in a filter. So maybe I want to add company to a filter as well. And I could just go in here and do the Justice League and see just like that. So you can move these around back and forth. We could also add issue type in here. And you can see like, hey, these are design, equipment failure, and structural and blank. What are the issues? So you can move things around here. The issue type count doesn't really make sense. Columns might make sense, or you can come in here and maybe add it to here, or you can move it up and down, or you could filter it by issue type. Description doesn't really make sense. We could also, like, maybe one of the things, like, go here like this, bring in your status, and I only want to see open and select in progress and open items. So now I know that I have 21. Real quick way to do that. Another thing that you can do right here to start summarizing it is you can go ahead and go to Insert, Pivot Chart. And we can create, let's just create a pie by design. So this is showing design changes. let me delete this one. Let's go back to our table and we're going to insert pivot chart. So same general concept here. We're going to do by company and ID. And then we'll do values, count, click OK. And you can come in here and you can change your chart type if you want, and maybe make it a pie graph. You can have that count. So really quickly, I can go ahead and start creating that and updating that, and there's lots of different things there. Another quick thing to do is just think about your views. Maybe we want to come in here and create a new window, and I can pull these things side by side. I could have a chart here and pull this up and have this so that I can see my different tables side by side real easily, have them in separate windows. Maybe I'm working on one data set here, one data set here. The cool thing is, like, I'm working in the same file. So if I make this issue 100, it's right there. It's updating both at the same time. It's the same file. Kind of the last thing I'll show you here in this view is the ability to create different views. So Excel now has the ability to create different views. So let's go ahead and hit new. And I'm going to just filter by company. And we're just going to do select all Avengers, hit Avengers. And then I'm going to say keep. And we're going to call this Avengers. So I can set up like pre-filtered things. And now if I jump through, I have my default view and I can quickly jump down and just see my Avengers. So maybe what I'll do here is I'll hit new and I'll add a filter for Justice League. And we're going to filter, click OK. And then I'll say keep. And I'll make this Justice League. And there you go. So now you can quickly filter between companies, right? Close that, maximize that, and just jump around. Oops. Just jump through. And these are available for everyone so that everyone can kind of quickly go through. I could do the same thing for, like, let's clear this filter. And let's go in here and let's just look at open and in progress, right? And then we can go in and create a new, call this open items, and hit keep. Now I have a quick drop down of open items and so on and so forth. That's a few of the quick, I kind of went through that fast. That's a few of the quick tips that I have. There's tons more you can do in Excel. Who does co-authoring inside of and collaborating inside of Excel? So maybe I'll show you. So having it open by multiple people, remember you can always share this. You can work together in teams. You can hit share. You have your copying link here. You can come in and anyone, existing, change it to view, edit. So like editing is awesome. Hit apply and just copy that link. The other thing that you can do is inside of, like, when you're inside and have multiple people in here, there's the comment tool. So a while ago, Excel used, and let me clear these views, exit that, and let's go back to select all. So it had inside your review tab, it had notes. And this was all the notes. And you just came in here and say, what's going on with this? And that's a comment. You click out, it sits there, and you hover over it, and it comes back. So I use that a lot for just comments, but really long term, not a great way to kind of work it. Excel wants you to use comments. So we're going to convert all notes to comments. It changes that into this comment here. And then it automatically grabs your username. You can delete it. You can add Ralph. Take a look at this. Start doing assignments. It's going to put it in my to-dos. It's going to send me an email. And it's going to mention right here, I can check it off. So using the comments tool is a lot better than Ralph. And you can start working your way through it. It automatically updates that status a little bit. Like you see that one's grayed out. This one's blue or purple. And you can just work your way through. You can delete it if you need to. Using those comments there are really powerful. There's also show changes that you can see everything that I changed inside this document when you're collaborating. That's really powerful. And if someone screws it up, you can go in here and look at your version history. And here's all the different versions of this that I worked on. That collaboration is now really powerful as well. So let me go back to the current version. But yeah, so that's some of the collaboration tools. Well, if there's no other questions, I'll hang out here for a few minutes if there's more, and I can stop the recording. But if there's no other questions, thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your week. If you guys have any ideas for next week's tech tip, let me know what you want to learn about. I was thinking Word is one, and then there was another one on my list that I can't think of off the top of my head, but lots of different options there. Deep dive into whatever you want and let me know. So thanks, everyone.